Hey gang, Massad Ayoob here. I'd like to introduce you to a course of fire you might find interesting for pistol practice. GSSF, the Glock Shooting Sports Foundation, created what they call their gallery course. The standard GSSF format will encompass a rack of Bianchi falling plates, as we see over here. It will include an array of 5 different targets that you shoot 2 rounds on a piece, and one more array with 4 cardboard targets like this and a steel popper. A lot of indoor ranges aren't set up for steel and aren't wide enough for those multiple target arrays. So Glock came up with a single course of fire encompassing 50 shots shot on a single target that multiple people can do on an indoor range in inclement weather. The target is the NRA D1. Created originally in the late 1970s by the great world champion Ray Chapman at Chapman Academy, when he got together with John Bianchi and hosted the famous Bianchi Cup, the tournament of the Wimbledon of champions, the Wimbledon of pistol shooting. Basically, a hit anywhere on this whole R2-D2 looking thing, if it's outside the rings, that's 50% value, 5 points out of 10 points possible. A hit in this large ring here is 8 points. This ring is the whole thing is 10 points, and the very center of it is a 10x. Same value as here for score, but the X ring is a tiebreaker if your score ties someone else. While it touches the line, it gets the higher value. It's going to be 10 shots per string for 4 strings, and 2 strings of 5 shots apiece. We've laid out a 10-round magazine at each of the shooting distances. We'll show you how it's done, and I'll meet you in a moment on the 4-yard line, 12 feet from the target. Okay, we're going to start at 12 feet. Course of fire is 10 rounds and 15 seconds. Throughout, you're shooting two-handed. There's no draws from the holster in this. Everything is done from low ready once the command has been given to load the firearm, and no speed reloads. Now, I don't want people to be thinking, heck, that's no fun, I don't get to practice my draw or my reload. At some point, they're going to tell you, draw and load. When you draw, make it a proper practice draw, one more repetition for your long-term muscle memory. When they tell you to load, you're already going to be at slide lock, do your speed reload, and you've got that locked in. The pistol is an out-of-the-box Glock 19, 5.5-pound trigger. Just about brand new. I won it last year at a regular Glock match. Differs from factory only with the Ameriglow sights. It'll be out of an FIN holster, and we're using a Competition Electronics CED 7000 timer. Command signals will be to load and go to low ready, and stand by, and the whistle. Stand by. Pistol is empty. Time is 8.50 seconds, and it looks like we've stayed in the X ring. And this type of shooting, the Glock folks want you to show clear. You'll close the slide, aim at the backstop, do a dry fire to confirm the chamber is empty. Lock open again, and either put the gun in the bag or holster with the empty magazine well and lock back slide visible to all present. We'll move next to the next distance, 25 feet. Okay, stage 2, 15 seconds for 10 rounds. The distance is 25 feet. Command will be given to draw your weapon and load. Once you're loaded, you're not allowed to take a sight picture on the target until the fire command. Time is 15 seconds. Stand by. Okay, we'll get down to the target and see how that looks. 20 shots into it, they're in the X, but the old guy here is getting a little bit sloppy and they're starting to stray. We'll see how it works at the next distance, 50 feet. That last time at 25 feet was 12.70 seconds. Now here from 50 feet, we're going to have the same 15 seconds for the same 10 shots. Shooter ready. Stand by. Clear, and we'll head down and take a look at the target. There's a little bit of timing issue on my end in the last one. Turned out I made it by the skin of my teeth, 14.23 seconds with a 15-second limit. Started off a little bit slow, realized, uh-oh, I'm taking too long and had to speed up. Yeah, when you interrupt your cadence that way, it can affect your trigger control, and it did me here. Of the 10 shots, we've got 7 in the 10X. The other 3 are still in the 10, but they're starting to stray outward now. Cone of dispersal is basically due to crappy timing on the part of the demonstrator. We'll move back now to the toughest distance, in most people's opinion for this course, 25 yards. We're on the 25-yard line, this stage of the gallery course, sometimes called the indoor course, though obviously you can shoot it outdoors, and some clubs do. 10 rounds from 75 feet in a much more generous 30 seconds. The command will be given to draw and load. Shooter ready. Stand by. Time was 21:47. We'll go down and see what that dispersal looks like. Okay, you can see the cone of dispersal increasing as distance moves back. From 25 yards, I pulled one out of the 10 ring. This is going to cost me 2 points off here. Notice the group is starting to come up a little bit. Maybe I was looking over the gun a little. I'm not sure. That'll tend to lift the head. We'll go next to the other 2 stages, 50 feet and 25 feet, and each of those are 5-shot strength. Next to the last stage is at 25 feet. It's only 5 rounds and a very generous 15 seconds, the same time you had before for 10 of them. So this should be kind of a gimme. Make sure you have ears, eyes, and caps. Command will be given to draw and load to low ready. Shooter ready. Stand by. Those appear to all be in there. Time was 7.05, a little less than half of what was allotted. This is probably the most generous stage of the event. We'll go now to the final 5 shots at 50 feet. Final stage of the event, 5 rounds, 50 feet, 15 seconds. Command will be given to draw and load. Shooter ready. Stand by. We'll go down and see what the final outcome looks like. Well, of the 50 shots, I've got the one that I blew at into the 8 ring from 25 yards, so that's 2 points off the possible 500. Basic score is a 498. For tiebreaker, you just count anything that's not in the X ring and take that off the top of the count. So there's 1, 2, they might call that in, I'm going to call it out, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's a 498 for the X. The X would only count if there was a tie on score. And this is the final outcome. I couldn't call back that bad shot from 25 yards, and that hit in the 8 ring takes 2 points off the possible 500. The X ring count, which would only count if a tiebreaker became necessary, was 40. So that means about 1 out of every 5 shots I fired wasn't going where I really wanted it to go. Any shooting like this is diagnostic for the shooter, and when it's a regular known course of fire that you shoot every now and then, it kind of lets you track your own progress. And it also reminds you we need to program everything from brainstem to trigger finger what it feels like to make the perfect shot. When they go right, it's a positive reinforcement, and when they don't, it's a reminder of what you need to work on. Let's duck over here and I'll give you a final word. The GSSF indoor gallery course we just fired is really only a small part of Glock Sports Shooting Foundation. Most of the matches are outdoors in a much more challenging format, and the faster you shoot it, the more likely you are to win. A third of it will be the falling plates here, the Bianchi plates. 4 sets with each pistol division that you choose to shoot. There'll be the Glock M, 4 of those little R2-D2 looking D1 targets, and a steel plate. And the 5 to Glock with double taps on 5 different D1 targets arrayed at different distances. It's fun, it's challenging, they give away lots of guns. Girlfriend and I have shot 4 matches this year, and the 2 that we have final scores on, I managed to earn a pistol at each one. And if an old blind guy with cataracts can do it, you can too. Check it out at GSSFonline.com. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Have fun, good luck, stay safe.